I am good. I'm waiting to see. It hasn't gone live over here for me yet on TikTok. I don't know about you.
Okay. No, not yet. So we're
Okay, so there we
a little
go.
early. How are you doing in this hot weather?
I am doing. How are you doing?
Doing good in the house. I did go outside to check on the bees, and they're flying about.
Did you? Good. Let me pull up
Bees.
the. Oh, is that what I want? Captions. Chat. There we go. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. We can give a few more minutes if you want.
Sure.
See, I know we just started. It's 101. So thank you for joining. If you're with us, please let us know where you're at. Today, we are going to be talking about a few things, harvest time and removing your bees from your honey supers. So we'll just give a few minutes and let everyone join. We hope everybody is staying cool and hydrated on this hot, hot Thursday. Kim, what's the weather like where you're at?
We're at a cool 93, and
Oh,
that's in the woods. So
stop
I'm
it.
sure, I'm sure it's feeling very hot out there. Where
Mm-hmm.
if anyone's working outside or on blacktop, I'm sure it's very, very hot. So be
For
careful out
sure.
there, everybody, if you're outside.
Stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely stay hydrated. If you're in your bee yards, make sure you have
Mm-hmm.
your water, whatever your
Absolutely.
hydration is, bring that with you because it is very hot out there. That's actually why we're not in
Mm-hmm.
Kim's hive today because it's just a little bit too hot. So,
Too hot. The bees don't want to be bothered, and because we have the luxury of being hobbyists and we don't need to
mhm.
get in there, we're just gonna let them alone for today. So
Yes,
thanks for
ma'am.
joining, everybody. Thanks for joining, Sean.
Yeah, thank you
If
so
I
much
missed
for
anyone, I'm
joining.
sorry.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I guess let's go ahead and start if you want. We're going to
Okay.
talk about harvest time and removing bees from your supers and just tips for a successful harvest, like what we have found most successful for us. And we know everybody works a little bit differently. So,
Mm-hmm.
today, we're just going to cover, is it time to finally harvest? How are we going to remove these bees safely? And we have a special guest who's going to show us how he removes his bees safely from the hive, and what extraction tools are best for you. And then I'm going to extract a frame of honey because I was lucky enough to be able to get a frame or two out of my hive a few weeks ago. So we're going to do that.
That's exciting. I can't wait
It
to
is
see it.
exciting, very exciting. So let's move along here. And this is just what we're covering. And then we'll just get into it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, we got to follow the clues. That is true because you don't know. When do you know? When do you know that it's
Right.
safe?
Right. So there are clues. There's always going to be clues to let you know
Mm-hmm.
if we're going down the right path. Is it time? So, Kim, I guess the first clue is the nectar flow is slowing, right? So, once we see that things are starting to, we're not seeing as many blooms out there, that's slowing down, the nectar flow is slowing. That's going to be a sign that maybe we should start checking that super. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They've started evaporating the excess moisture from those frames as well. So you start seeing them fan a lot in there. They're starting to dry that honey out. That's probably a sign that it's time to harvest. We're getting ready to harvest. And then probably the most well-known sign everybody looks for is that beautiful capping of the honey. So if your honey's capped, your frames are capped, that's the number one clue that the honey is ready to go. And then your supers feel heavy. They're heavier than they were before.
That's a very good indicator.
Mhm.
Remember when we picked up frames? I mean, they were felt like they were like 5 pounds.
Yeah, this frame I have that I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit, I was picking it up before the live today, and I said, "Wow, this is really, really heavy. I wonder how many jars I'm gonna get out of it," because it's a very heavy frame, so we should see. We should make a
Yeah.
little wager later on and
Okay,
see.
that'll be
Yeah,
fun.
let's do that.
What's the most anyone has gotten out of one frame? How many jars have you been able to fill?
You know what? I don't know off the top of my head, but this year I'm gonna have to make it a priority to see how many what is gonna be the most. What do
Mhm.
you think? How many have you done?
I think we did when Nick and I first started. I think we were writing it down per frame, but I don't remember where we put the information. So if anybody else is been able to determine how many jars you got from, or maybe even how many pounds of honey you got from one frame, it can
Yeah, that
vary. So it's
mhm.
always fun to see, and depending how much they, some frames you'll see have are thicker than others. Sometimes when they're drawing it out themselves, like the comb, that
Mhm.
can be thicker too. So yeah, it's fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. If nobody has any questions or input on this, we'll just carry right on along.
Hi, Chickabee. How are you? Thanks for
Chickabee,
joining,
what?
everybody.
Hi, how are you? Okay, Miss Kim. So, let's see here. Our
Oh, I
our
love the
first
pictures.
our first clue.
Oh, I do like how it's set up like one of those fun mysteries,
Yeah,
like
I thought
mystery dinner.
we thought it would be fun to kind of set it
Hmm.
up like a little clue activity. So, if we're going to be detectives to figure out can we harvest yet, this would be our first clue if you want to take it, Kim.
Okay, sure. So up top we have some beautiful coneflowers. During a strong nectar flow, the foragers bring the nectar into the hive faster than the bees can ripen it. And as the bloom begins to fade, fewer flowers produce nectar. The bees shift from collecting nectar to finishing and storing the honey that they've already gathered. And there's some really neat pictures. So fewer bees will be returning, heavily loaded from the field, and you'll see new white wax comb. It's no longer being built as quickly, and honey supers stop gaining weight. Fewer fresh nectar cells appear during inspections, and more cells become capped each week instead of newly filled. So that's a good sign. Those are signs that the nectar flow may be ending.
So,
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
I have
So,
a question about one of those then, okay? And this is just an observation for me.
mhm.
So for that first one, the fewer bees returning, heavily loaded from the field, if your nectar flow is slowing, do you think you're also going to see a lot more bees around your hive?
Mhm.
Right? Is that,
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
a good indicator.
So
Hmm.
if you're seeing more bees at your hive than you normally would, there's nothing out there to really go and
Right.
gather. Okay, yeah. All
They're
right.
not going to have as much to go out and forage.
Okay,
So
so
you'll see more. Yeah, you'll see more around the hive. That's
I'm
true
gonna look
too.
for that and see if I
Hmm.
notice, like during the dearth here, if I notice an increase of bees at the hive. Just in, yeah, that's interesting.
It is interesting. And you may have noticed already you have bees outside of your hive that are bearding with this weather. It's very hot. There's a lot of
Right.
bees in there. They're making, they don't want it to be quite as hot inside, so they're staying on the outside, trying to regulate,
Hmm.
and you'll see them all just kind of hanging out. There won't be quite as many during the day because they'll be out foraging, but you'll notice it more towards the evening. Sometimes they'll be out all night, and you'll see them early in the morning too. So,
And that's a great point, Kim, because that's we've talked about this too. There's sometimes we'll see something like that happen, like a lot of bearding out there, and our first instinct is to maybe be a little alarmed, like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? But then maybe step outside and see what the weather is like. If it's extremely hot out there, or yeah, just it could just be the weather. So no need to panic right away if you're seeing heavy bearding.
that's correct. Yeah, and Chickpea says that it's humid, so the humidity will have a lot to do with that too. And they'll be out
Hmm.
fanning. They see a lot of fanning activity, which
Absolutely.
is something to go along with. When we look at the capped frames,
Hmm.
sometimes they may not cap the honey, which will give good clues as to what you can do if it's not capped. Because I remember last year it was very humid and some of our frames never got capped. So there is still a way you can check those. Um, but to go on, so why it matters, if the nectar flow is still strong, the bees are actively adding fresh nectar to the supers, and that nectar may contain too much moisture and isn't ready to harvest. So when the flow slows, bees finally have time to evaporate the excess moisture, add enzymes, and cap the finished honey, which to us is a great indicator. We can just look at it and say, oh, it's capped. So most likely it's ready. Of course, you can always double check that with a
Mm-hmm.
refractometer just to be sure,
Yeah.
if you want to do that. And to go along with the clue, the first clue we have, so we have evidence, which would be fewer flowers producing nectar, and it has witnesses even. So returning forager bees. And conclusion, the colony is transitioning from collecting nectar to finishing honey.
Okay. So I have a question for you then. So last year, and you just talked about it, when we had those frames that they didn't cap right, and we just couldn't figure out what is going on. They've been in there forever. Did you use a refractometer
I did.
to check the moisture?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a great way to do it because I and the shake test is a great way
Mm-hmm.
too. I still wonder why, because I remember us talking about that. They just never capped that honey. That was so
Mm-hmm.
crazy, but the moisture was on point. Everything
Yep.
was good to go.
Everything was good.
Yep. It just
And
goes to show you crazy things can happen out there, even though we think they should do
mhm,
one thing, they don't always do that.
right, but the bees do know what they're doing.
They
So
absolutely do.
we might not know because we can't actively communicate with them in the same way, but
Mhm.
they definitely know what they're doing.
They know and they leave us signs like that capped honey. So,
Yeah, yeah. And how beautiful is freshly capped honey? The white, because that's when you know you're going through
yeah,
a nectar flow. It'll be super white.
super
It looks
white.
soft even. It's so beautiful.
I know you had shared the one time that beautiful frame. I think it's your husband's frame of
Hmm.
honey. It's just the most
It
beautiful
is.
picture, like
Yeah.
perfect frame of honey I've ever seen in my life.
It could have won a contest, but it
You
won't
should,
stay that white. So I don't know how you would even put it in. I know there are special frames and whatnot, but I don't think it would end up staying white. Eventually, it'll yellow.
right. Yeah. Absolutely. The longer it sits, it's gonna, yeah, yellow for sure. Okay. So are we ready to move on to some more clues here?
Yes.
Okay. So
Follow the
let
clues.
so let's follow clue number 2. The bees have evaporated the excess moisture. So fresh nectar can contain 60 to 80% of water. And as Kim stated, the worker bees fan the nectar with their wings to evaporate that extra moisture. And they also add the enzymes to break down the complex sugars into simple sugars.
Hmm.
So the goal is to reduce the moisture content to make it that honey that we know and love. So what we're looking for is that the honey is not going to be, or it's not going to be thin and watery, because nectar is thin, watery, runny. Your honey's not going to look like that. So if you're seeing that, it's not ready. The cells look full and glossy. It has a thick, rich appearance. So that's
Hmm.
what you're going to want to look for. The third clue that goes right along with this is that capping that we are talking about. They begin capping the honey. Once the honey is the right moisture content, the bees seal it with a thin layer of wax, that beautiful white wax that we're talking about. And it's their way of saying, this is done. We approve. It's bee approved. And this is our seal of approval. So that capped honey has the perfect amount of moisture because bees know it's their product, right? They're the professionals here. They're the experts. They know everything about it. So when it's sealed, they say it's done, it's good to go. And it's safe for storage. So look for both clues. And when you're seeing these things together and with that nectar flow slowing, chances are we're getting closer to that harvest.
Hmm. Yeah, and as you have, get more experience, you'll be able to see the difference between it being nectar in the cells
Hmm.
and being honey. You'll just be able to see that it even looks thicker in there. That's absolutely a great test to do that shake method. And yeah, if you're shaking it and it comes right out, that's still nectar.
If there's any way we can show that, we should one day. We
Hmm.
should definitely show, maybe they could see. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun little thing to do if you can do that for sure. Okay. So are we ready to move on to
Oh,
the next one?
sure, sure. Does
Okay.
anyone have any questions that we
Yes,
might
any
have missed?
questions? Let me look over
I
here.
don't know how to see in there. Let me see. I don't have this pulled up.
I'm not seeing
Okay.
over. Okay.
All right.
So
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions.
and then before we move on, I do want to thank everybody for joining us
Hmm.
today. Hope everybody is ready for a nice long weekend, hopefully. I know we are.
Mhm.
Are you doing some beekeeping this weekend?
Am I?
Yeah.
We may, yes.
Okay.
We may. We probably need to look ourselves for some capped honey. I think one of us has a super that may need to be pulled, so I
Oh,
might need to
okay.
look into it this weekend.
Well, keep me posted, girl. Keep me
Are
posted.
you going to look at yours?
It depends. I don't know that I'm gonna go down. It's just hot. It's so
It's very
hot.
hot.
It just depends on how hot it is. And with
Yeah,
it being the holiday, I just kind of like to stay, home and do whatever.
yeah. I did go down. I think it was Sunday. I went down and pulled the propolis trap off and gave them some nice ventilation,
Oh,
and
God.
because they weren't going to be able to get out of there, and they're not really going to do much with the propolis at this point. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
wait for later on in the season. And they were very happy that I removed that and gave them their inner cover with a lot more in and out exit and entrance holes up there. So they've all been bearding this week. So I'm sure they're happy to have a little
Good.
more ventilation. Are we
That's-
already on clue 4?
I'm sorry.
We're already on clue 4.
Already?
Oh
I'm
my
so sorry. I was
gosh.
looking at this here. My
So we're still investigating. So here we have clue 4. And the supers will feel noticeably heavier, as you had said earlier. That box can get real heavy. Uh, I know. Did you do a deep super box?
I haven't done a deep super. My boyfriend's done a deep super before, and I can't even. I don't know that I could pick it. It's too much for me. Just too much.
Yeah, my husband did a deep. He did the Damari method before, and he's also done deep supers. And yeah, I'm not gonna be able to lift it, but he
No.
enjoys it. He likes having those deep boxes.
Yeah.
And I think a super is heavy enough for me, so that could be what, almost 80 pounds, right?
Yeah, I get even that. Yeah,
Yeah,
even that's a lot.
it's a lot.
That's part of the reason I've really considered going down to 8 frames too,
Hmm.
because it's just I'm not getting any younger, and those things are
They
heavy,
are heavy.
so heavy.
Yeah, and that I don't always take a full super just because of the way I have my hive set up. I'm only
Hmm.
doing a deep brood box and a medium box.
Yep.
So a lot of times, and we don't need tons and tons of honey. So we'll take a few frames, or at least I will take a few frames at a
Hmm.
time. And I know you're going to show a method that way instead of
Yep.
removing the whole super. So sometimes I don't even have to move that whole thing, which is great.
Exactly. I want to look at this comment over here real
Okay.
quick. Hang on just a second. My bees just vacated, I think, due to heat, and I will be harvesting supers before it gets stolen. Yeah, yep, before you get robbed out of it. That's happened to me before, thinking I'll go and get my super in a few days because I don't live right near my bees.
Mm.
So, and then come back and the honey's gone, of course.
They're
Silly
quick.
me, but
They're quick though. I mean, I remember when we had our apiary at work, and those they would be in robbing like
oh
immediately.
my
So,
gosh. Yeah,
and then they leave
immediately.
like it's all just, it looks like sawdust.
I know, it's
Everything
so
is
cool.
chewed through.
It's neat to see, like, it's not of course, you don't wanna see that your hives are getting robbed, but I do like to see the after remnants of a robbing.
Right? Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
why does weight matter? It matters. This is why it matters. Water is light and honey is heavy. As bees evaporate moisture, so down to 18% or less, the honey becomes denser and the supers gain weight. So that's what makes them heavy. And what do you want to look for? Well, you can pick up a corner or an end of the super and compare it to an empty super. A heavy super that continues to gain weight over several days is a good sign. If the weight stays the same or gets lighter, the bees may still be working with fresh nectar. So combine this clue with others like capped honey and moisture content before harvesting. A heavier super is nature's way of telling you the bees have been working hard and the honey is almost ready for the harvest table. We do have some other parts to go with the clues. So the evidence, the super is heavy and continues to gain weight. Witnesses are your hands and experience during inspections. Your hands are very good to tell you what's going on by
Absolutely.
using them for inspections. And the conclusion, the honey is ripening and nearing the right moisture level for harvest. So follow the clues together. And here is a wonderful beekeeper tip. Get to know the feel of your empty equipment so you can recognize the difference when it's full of
Mhm.
honey, which is great. That's a
It
really,
is.
because sometimes the equipment can be a little bit on the heavy side to begin with. So being
Absolutely.
able to determine what that is versus when it's full. Um, um, excuse
Okay.
okay. Continuing on.
So continuing on, let's see here. So now let me move this over. We have our conclusion. We're solving the case. So when all the clues line up, you'll know that the honey is ready to harvest.
Yeah, mom's snapping at me.
So when all four clues are present, you've solved the case. The honey is ripe, sealed, and ready to be harvested. So by following the clues, the nectar flow is slowing. The bees have evaporated the excess moisture down to 18%. They begin capping the honey, and those supers feel heavier, then you're good to go. Yeah, it's time to go ahead and harvest. So, the big picture, harvesting isn't about the calendar ever. I know it seems like it, but it's about observation because not all calendar years are the same. Kim and I talked earlier, like her bloom is different than mine, and we only live 20 minutes apart.
I
But
know, that's so funny.
it's so weird. What has in bloom right now is not what is happening in my yard. So you can't always count on the calendar year. Weather always factors heavily into it. So just by using these observations and knowing what to look for, you can ensure yourself, you're guaranteed to know when it's time to harvest. Before you harvest, you want to double check that the honey is capped over at least 80-90% of the cells. Moisture content is 80% or less. The supers, again, are heavy, and you've seen the other clues as well. And then patience is definitely part of the process. We don't want to rush it. Not everybody, a lot of people are all about getting that honey, and it's exciting to get your first honey or even get that first season's honey, but we don't want to rush it. Being patient is the best thing we can do to ensure that we have a successful and tasty harvest.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Patience is very hard when you're a beekeeper.
Yeah. So, and just something to remember here, good beekeepers follow clues, and great beekeepers let the bees lead the way to those clues. So just follow your bees.
But not right in the hive.
Don't follow
Don't
them
follow them
into
in
the
there.
hive. Yeah, don't do that.
But it is really fun to watch them. They all have a job to do. And we had talked months ago about water collector bees. So I'm sure you'll be seeing them in the front of the hive.
Hmm.
And even when they're not bringing in nectar, they're still actively busy with other jobs.
Absolutely.
Or they're
Absolutely.
pretending they are.
They're just hanging out. Yeah, just pretending to be busy. So we have a comment over here. Can you store honey in the supers in a cool, dark place like the basement for any length of time? I do.
That's what I do.
I do. I absolutely do. Um, and then like I don't want to store them for a extremely long amount of time, but I've definitely let them set a few weeks or, sometimes even a little bit longer than that. That's totally fine.
Mm-hmm. You can get something like Paramoth to help with that if you
Hmm.
plan on storing them for a while. Also, you can get storage containers, and I believe we have something also available that you can store your honey supers in before you are going to extract.
Right.
So,
Yes.
and we had a comment. I'm in Ohio asking when to treat for mites. That's a great question too, and it kind of depends on what mite treatment you'd like to go with. And this could be a good time. I remember when we were newer to beekeeping, and advice given to us was in our area anyway, so like northeast, um, around 4th of July actually, because it's a holiday weekend. You're thinking of things to do with 4th of July, and so often that's a good time to treat. In that instance, though, you would want to make sure you don't have your honey supers on if there's certain mite treatments you would like to use, such as Apivar, anything with API in it,
Hmm.
API. you don't want to have your honey supers on. You'd want to check the weather. So if you're using something like Formic Pro, where yes, you can keep your honey supers on for that. However, you don't want to have temperatures exceed. I mean, I think it says 85 the first 3 days, but I would even say like 80. You don't want
Yeah.
to exceed high temperatures at least for the first 3 days because it can harm the queen and it'll cause all the bees to come out and beard. I mean, they're probably doing that anyway, but all of them will come out, and it can be a little alarming. So you want to make sure like temperature control is good. So something like Baroxin, where it's not really temperature controlled, you could use. But again, just read that. We do have really great descriptions on the website, and
Hmm.
if you have any further questions about it, you can always call us
Yeah.
and just check and see what the temperatures are like in your area or you could even check them first. So do a mic check. I think you had talked about that maybe last week, Steph. Uh,
Yeah. Know your mite threshold. Know your mite counts. It's always important to know your mite counts even before you decide on a treatment because that's going to steer you into the direction of what treatment path you want to take sometimes.
mhm. Have you thought about treating at this point? Or are you
I
waiting?
I do want to treat. I want to do an oxalic acid treatment. So I want to go in and look and see how they're doing. But I also want to throw some Naroa on my hives. And I know you had wanted to do that too. Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Yep. So I want to do both. I'm excited to use the Naroa because it
Mm-hmm.
seems so simple and
Mm-hmm.
just an easy process. So I want to go ahead and get mine ordered and put those, hopefully soon, get those on the hive.
Yeah, we
Hmm.
should try it out. We've been wanting to, and then we just forgot. We kind of like put it on the back burner. But
Yep.
just to go along with that, Neuro wouldn't be a knockdown mite treatment. You can use it with a knockdown mite treatment, but another thing to consider for Neuro, you would not want to have your honey supers on while you have Neuro in there. Not that it's going to harm your honey or anything like that, because it is a natural product, but just because you want the bees to store it in the brood, you don't want them to take it up and store it in with the honey. So
Right.
you can put your supers on immediately after they drink all the syrup, the
Hmm.
Neurona syrup. So
Yep. Yep. And
that's, yeah, it's great.
it's versatile too. You don't have to put it on your I'm sorry if you said this or on top of the frames. You can put it in the bottom of your brood box
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right.
Hmm.
I wonder if anyone's tried it that way.
I haven't talked to anybody who's tried it that way, but
Mhm.
because I haven't, maybe I will on
Yeah,
one of
that's
my
a good
hives.
idea.
Yeah. I think I'll put it on the bottom of one of my hives and see how that works out. I'll report back to you guys.
Yeah, we should try it
Hmm.
different ways just to
Yeah, for
see
sure. Yep.
how fast they take it.
Absolutely. Now, let's see what are okay. So I know we said we're going to discuss now that we know it's time to harvest the honey. Now what? So what are we going to do now? Well, now we want to remove those bees. We want to remove them safely from that super. Just move them for a short amount of time so you can get whatever you're trying to remove out of the super. You can do that safely without harming the bees and without harming yourself. So I did mention we're going to have a special guest join us today and let us know. So if you'll bear with me one
Hi, it's
moment.
Frank from Man Lake, and today I'm going to show you
Hi,
a
Frank.
couple of ways
Frank,
to remove
hi.
honey supers, get the bees out of the supers and remove them from the colony. So there are a few
Thank
ways you can
you.
get bees out of a super. One of them is using one of the various bee escapes. They work, but they're a little slow. You put it on today, you have to come back tomorrow to pull that honey super. You got to wait for those bees to go down. Some of us don't have that kind of time, especially when you're running, you know, 10 or more colonies. You have to have a quicker way. So what I use most of the time are what's called a fume board. This is a solar
Hmm.
fume board. It's got a felt underside and corrugated black plastic here, grayish plastic, that'll absorb the sun and create heat. Heat and the smell is what drives the bees out. So I've got two products here today. This one's called Bee Quick. This is all natural type of oils, but it's
Love Be
a
Quick.
scent. It actually smells pretty nice to me, but the bees don't like
Mm-hmm.
this at all. This will drive them out eventually, but this one and the other one, Honey Bandit, that Man Lake sells, both of those require, if you're using a fume board, a warm day. Now today happens to be mid 70s at the moment. So this would work today. So would the Honey Bandit.
Definitely
The other
work
one we
today.
have is something called Honey Robber. This works no matter what the weather is. It's butyric or butyric acid. I'm not sure how you say it, but this one actually has a horrible smell to it. It almost smells like,
That's no lie.
He's not kidding.
it doesn't have a great smell
It
at all.
does.
The
It's
bees
exactly,
cannot
yep.
stand that smell.
I
This
say,
one, you put it on that fume board,
it
no matter
robs
what,
me
it'll
of my
drive those
my
bees out.
soul. It smells so
Now,
bad.
talking about using these fume boards, the thing you have to remember is either of these products or all three, the Honey Bandit, you spray it on here. Never spray it directly on the frames or the cap honey, none of that, or the bees. Just on this felt on the fume board. That's where you want it. None of these will get absorbed into the honey. So it won't be like your honey smells like either one of these when you're finished. It won't. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the top off. I think we'll use the Honey Robber today. We're going to take this top off, and first we're going to smoke them just a little bit. So I have a fair number of bees in here. And we don't want to bring this super into our honey house or wherever we're doing our extracting with all these bees in here. We want to get as many out as we can. So we'll take this fume board. We'll take our Honey Robber and we'll just spray it on here, a little stream of it across the fume board. And that should be all we need. And we're going to let that work with both the combination of the sun and the smell itself. And we just have to wait a few minutes, and the majority of these bees are going to be gone. Now, I will caution you, if you don't use queen excluders and you have let your queen go up into your honey supers, if there's any brood there, even this rarely will get those nurse bees off that brood. So I always encourage using a queen excluder. It makes it much easier for a lot of different things. There are ways you can use it for a while, and then take it off, not use it for a while, then put it on. So that's something that I think you have to learn a bit how to use that queen excluder. I would say if you're relatively new or if you've only been doing it for a few years, always use that queen excluder. Keep your honey supers nice and clean. So we're going to just let this work for probably 5 to 10 minutes, and we're going to come back and we're going to see if those bees are out of there. Okay, so this has been on for not even 5 minutes, I don't think, and I'm guessing the majority of the bees are out of here. So we're going to take a quick look. We'll take that lid off. Yep, the bees are not in there. They're gone.
Wow, look at that.
They've gone down to the box below. So we're going to remove this, and we're going to do the same thing on this box right here. Now, if you notice, I've got a queen excluder here. That will slow down those bees from going down. So before I put the fume board on, I am actually going to take this queen excluder off of this hive temporarily, let those bees go
You have
down.
a lot of bees in there, my goodness.
I know, Frank, please split your hive.
And we're going to put that back on like that. So same thing, we're going to wait a few minutes. And we'll be able to take this box off as well. Well, sometimes I'll put a puff or two of smoke in there, especially if it's not really warm out and I'm having trouble getting them out. I get a little smoke in there, and that seems to help too. But if it's sunny like today, generally you won't need to do that. We're going to now remove this second box. Hopefully most of those bees went down. A lot of times you won't get them all. There'll be a few that just refuse to leave for whatever reason, but that's okay too. So let's take a look. Yep, there's a few on top.
Take them home.
Down in the seams, I don't see any. So I'm just going to take this.
Okay.
Yep. They're off the bottom. I'm just going to put it over
He
here.
puts it in his car, goes home.
He says,
Fortunately,
bye,
we put a
guys.
cover on there because if we leave it open like that, there's going to be a lot of bees on there.
Yeah.
So now we're down to our 2 boxes, and we can do whatever we want with this. If this is a hive that needs to be split, we can split it. You can actually see there's no bees on the top here either, because the bees, it's driven them down through there as well. So sometimes they'll end up bearding out on the front because they just don't like that smell. So that's all there is to taking honey
Me neither.
supers off.
I don't
Fairly
either,
quick.
Frank.
And it's easy. It doesn't hurt the bees. Some people use blowers to blow the bees off. I personally don't like to do that. It's, I think, a little bit disturbing to the bees. The fume board seems to work the best. It's how I do
That was great.
Okay. So that is Frank and showing us how he removes the bees from the super. So now if you guys will give me just a moment, I'm gonna set up and we are going to extract some honey here. So let's
Okay. Have you
see.
ever used a fume board to remove yours?
Only with Frank actually.
That's great.
I've done this with Frank.
I'm glad
So
he showed you.
yeah. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Did he use honey rubber?
We did not use Honey Robber. I don't think I would have appreciated that experience. We used the Honey Bandit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pleasant.
So let's see here. Okay. So, well, we do
Okay.
have some things to talk about. So let me just put this here. Okay. So now that we have gotten we've solved our case, right? We can safely get the bees out of there. Frank's removed the bees for us.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank. We appreciate you. So now the harvest can begin.
Okay.
And that's the fun part. And
Mhm.
you always want to make sure you have the right tools for you. So today I'm actually going to show you guys a very minimal way to harvest honey. And we'll get into why. It's kind of what Kim said earlier. I only did a frame because I don't want to take a whole super from my bees. The frame I believe I took it from was a hive that was being split, and I wanted to build those bees up. And I had so I just took one frame, and that's why we're only doing a very simple extraction today.
Great.
So, when you are doing your harvesting or you're going to start your harvest, you want to build your harvest station, if you will.
I like their cart.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
I wanna have a honey harvest cart.
It would be very nice.
Nice.
So, whether you're extracting in a kitchen, garage, basement, workshop, or a dedicated honey room, an organized harvesting station helps make the process run smoother from start to finish. And that is so true. You
Mhm.
always want to have a dedicated area. Funny enough, I'm doing mine in my home office today, which goes to show you you can do it anywhere.
Okay.
So there are 4 simple steps to harvesting honey, and it really is and can be that simple. You're gonna want to uncap it, then you are going to extract it, in whichever manner that you choose. In this particular slide, they are using an extractor. We are not doing that today. And then you're going to strain it and then bottle it.
Love it. Yeah.
So, a detective tip is a well organized harvesting station save time, reduces mess, and helps you capture more of nature's gold. And that is so true because if you're not organized when you're bottling and harvesting, you're just going to have a mess everywhere.
It does get messy.
It
Absolutely.
absolutely does. Okay. So, I'll let you take this next one, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, we have tried these tools. So here is step 2. You want to choose your uncapping tool. And there isn't just one right way. So different combs call for different tools, and you can absolutely use whatever you feel works the best in your situation. It could be any one of these. You could get a heating and capping knife, and that's where you plug that in. It would heat up, and you can just like butter, just goes right down and uncaps. So this is best for large batches, smooth, fast cuts, and even cappings. And heated knives glide through cappings, saving you time and effort. And I have used this on occasion, but I don't feel I necessarily have to use it every time. I do like it, and I think, as it says, it's great for larger batches.
Hmm.
You can use the uncapping fork, which I'll just tell you is my personal favorite, but everybody has their own special tools that they like. And this one's great for low spots, uneven comb, missed cappings after using a knife. So you can use more than one tool if you would like to. And this is a must-have tool to clean up the spots your knife misses. So if you use a knife and you're finding it's missing some spots, you can go in with your uncapping fork. And being that I usually just extract a few frames at a time, I usually just go with the uncapping fork and find that it works pretty well. Also, I don't necessarily have to do this one either with just a few frames. So we've done like 3 frames where we can put them in the extractor and we go on with the uncapping fork. However, if I'm doing crush and strain, I really just use a spatula because you're just, essentially taking all of that and brushing it down into a filter and straining it that way. So you might not even need any of these tools if you're doing that method.
Right.
But the next one is an uncapping scratcher. This is perfect for sunken cappings, plastic foundation, or spot repairs, and it's often used alongside a knife instead of replacing one. And the last one would be an uncapping punch. So instead of slicing wax off, it punctures hundreds of cappings quickly. This is also great for small batches, less wax removal, faster cleanup. Puncturing keeps more cappings on the frame, and that means less mess and cleanup. And there's a pro tip for most experienced beekeepers: actually use a combination of tools. Let the framing and the cappings tell you which tool to use.
Hmm.
And we have a couple general reminders for all the tools. You want to keep the tools clean and dry. If you're using heat, you want to keep the tools at the right temperature, and always work over your uncapping tank. And of course, you'll want to handle sharp tools carefully and store them safely because they are quite sharp, and that heating knife is sharp as well as hot.
Double
Keep
danger.
away from children.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so on to the next one. Let's see here. Um, so now that you've uncapped it, now what? We have several options for that. We range from plastic uncapping tanks to stainless steel ones with strainers and no strainers. So, this is just some options. We don't have to go through all this, just showing you some different options of what we offer, what you can use. What I'm going to be using today, I don't actually have up here, funny enough, but I'm going to be using a 5-gallon pail with a filter basket on it, or just a and then a honey gate. So when I'm ready, it's filtered and it's ready to go.
Right.
Just pour it right into the bottle. But these are just some other options that we have. We do have the plastic uncapping tank, which is a great beginner option. So if you're just starting this year and you wanted an uncapping tank, the plastic gray one is fantastic. I know we do have that, don't we? I don't have it here with me, but I know we have one that we can use at some point.
We do have one we can use, and this is a very popular piece of equipment. So I think we are limited right now online, but this is what I was mentioning before to Tim. This would be great to store in, and then anything that drips from there as you're storing is going to stay in there, and you can use the honey gate if you need to. So it's a great tool to store as well as
Mhm.
eventually, use that honey gate to extract. And we love our 5-gallon buckets with honey gates because they're wonderful for, as Steph's going to do, the crush and strain method.
Yeah.
And after all the honey drips down, and you can store the honey in there if you don't have time to bottle it. So
That is so true because I am gonna tell you right now, I've been so guilty of
mhm.
like extracting and then just leaving the honey in the 5-gallon pail. And then like, I'll
Yeah,
get that. I'll get that. I
me
mean, it
too.
stays good. So, but yeah, just figure out how you want to do it. There's so many options. I mean, not everybody wants to spend a lot of money doing it, and that's okay. We have those options too. So, with that said, I guess let's give it a try. So, like I had said, just pulled a frame. I think I actually pulled 2 frames, but today I'm just going to extract one, just to kind of show you guys what that looks like. So let me see if you guys will bear with me one moment.
This
Let
is a live.
me.
Oh, that's a big picture of my face.
I'm so sorry.
A live honey extraction. That's very
Let me see if
exciting.
you guys can. I feel like this is funny. Okay. Can you guys see me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. All right. So I'll show you what I have. I have the 2 filters.
Love
Okay.
that filter.
Hang on, I don't wanna get
You
okay.
have do you have coarse and medium, or do you have
You know
something
what?
different?
I have to look. I think I have fine and medium. I know this one is the fine one. This one, it might be the coarse. So it looks like I have coarse and fine because my medium, that's what it was. My medium one looked a little messy and I didn't want you guys to see it.
But that's how they are. They're just
I didn't want you
they're a little
guys to
messy.
see it. So we're going to put that in here just like that. Gosh, how easy was that? Now here's my frame.
Very nice. Wow. It looks like it's heavy.
It's pretty heavy. I'm going to say it's probably 5 to 7 pounds, I would think. So, but let me show you guys. Let me put this down. If you haven't seen our honey gate, I'll show you that. And this is the tool I'm using. So let's see here. Okay. See? And then the gate or the filter goes right in there.
Love it.
So that's so easy. And that's
It's our
what
favorite.
you don't have to you spend a whole lot of money to harvest a honey. And this is really good. Me and Kim were talking to. Maybe you don't want to take all of your honey. Maybe you just want a frame here and there. Maybe you just got a package and it's starting this year, so you don't want to take everything from them. You don't have to buy everything. You don't have to buy an extractor right away. You can get this and you can take, oh, now it's heavy, just your one frame. Your one frame. So are we ready to get started? Okay.
I think my favorite is the medium filter. I don't often find, well, I don't need mine to be like finely filtered out, and I like the raw aspects of it. So I think that for what I do, the medium works well enough. But we do have the stainless steel as well, which is great. And that one has 2 filters in one. So it works the same as the one Steph has. You would just put the metal strainer right on top there, and same method. So look at all that come down.
Guys, can you see how
It looks
beautiful?
dark.
Oh my goodness, look. Look at that.
I guess it's
So
just still
beautiful.
dark on the
I think it's
frame.
just
Is
the
it a-
comb or the frame.
Yeah. Is it black? Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys, it's so beautiful.
Have you tasted honey from this year's yet?
My thing just broke. Hang on. Guys, it's
been used a long time. It's not
It
the
really-
quality of the product. It's the fact that we've had it for years.
you can see it's been used quite a bit. Hang on, I just got to press it in.
Guys, when you go back to watch this video, I cannot.
It's not. See, and it's look at that.
Look, it's still working beautifully.
Oh, I wish you can like smell it. Okay.
Oh, especially in the fall. Sometimes you can even smell your honey outside of the hives. Like even if you're walking by your apiary, you might even be able to smell it. It's especially strong. I mean, I smelled ours just I think last week, but it's especially strong in the fall. So that is a good indicator that they're bringing in a lot of nectar and reducing the moisture to get honey. You
Yeah.
can really smell it.
My glasses are falling down.
So you did need a partner.
I did. Okay. Okay, guys. Now I'm gonna do the other side, and let's see here. Hang on, just.
And see how it can get messy. Imagine if she started touching her face, and then her hands have honey, and then she's touching her glasses, and then it can get messy.
It definitely can.
But she's taking her time. I think it can get messier if you're.
Look at it ooze. Can you guys? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, I'm just jabbering.
You're good. Let's see here. Okay.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you for
glad
watching.
to have you here.
I'm not sure who's here, but thank you.
Thank you to everyone who's here and watching and liking and sharing.
And sharing and loving. I do want to say while I'm doing this, because this is really cathartic, right? I could do this.
It looks like it is. Oh, we still need to do that ASMR.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
It looks so relaxing to me.
I was looking at, and I can't really see on Facebook, but definitely over here on TikTok, I was looking at the people who had joined the live while we were doing our presentation. And I just wanted to say thank you guys so much because that's where we really started. And it has been almost a year since we've been going live on TikTok. And it's just been so incredible. And the amount of information I've learned in this year has been just amazing. And it wouldn't be possible without our TikTokers. And I just wanted to give a special shout out to you guys.
Shout out.
I just absolutely love you guys so much. And we're starting to learn our Facebook live people now, which is so much fun. And it's just been really fun this year growing and learning with you guys.
We have such a nice and informative group of people. And
Absolutely.
they're very kind to each other and to us, and we really appreciate that.
We do appreciate that more. And I do. I want to just thank you guys for being with us. Those of you who have been here with us for a year or almost that year, it's just been so much fun. Okay. So that is that, guys. That is how easy and simple that was. Let me see if you can, I don't know if you can see in the honey. I don't know if we're going to be able to. No, we're not. Sorry. We're not even going to try. So
you'll have to show that at a later. Maybe you can put. Why don't you post? Maybe you could post some pics and videos, and put them on socials later, and just show what it looks like.
Yeah. Look how. Yeah. Wow. I'm very shiny.
Yeah. Our skin looks great today.
Do
all
we?
the honey.
It's all the honey I just extracted. But yeah, that's all I have, and I just wanted to show how simple that could be.
Yeah, what a great option if you don't have an extractor. And it can be a little bit controversial. There's some that really don't like to use the crush and strain method, and that's okay. But if that's what you have to use, then that's what you have. And
that is okay. Yeah.
There are those of us that like to make things, and if you save your wax cappings and you like to make your own products, you can get a little bit of wax out of that. So you just you can render it yourself, which is a really nice way to use everything.
And that's what I plan on doing with, I'm going to put that frame back in the super because it's nice and wet, a wet frame as they're called, and the bees will love it. They'll use it and build right back out on that. So I'm going to put that back out, but the wax cappings that are in there, I'm going to make some lip balm.
Great.
Got to think of a summer 2026 flavor. So yeah, we'll have to do something fun.
Well, Tim asked, so is it best to bottle as soon as it's filtered? Just curious if the moisture will rise. And there are some that bottle as soon as it's filtered and some that wait. And you can see it whether you bottle it or even in what Steph has right now in her honey gate. Sometimes you'll get like a layer on top. We call it like marshmallow fluff. I find it to be super delicious. So does my husband. It's actually his favorite to eat the top part off. Some people might not find it appealing and may scrape that off before selling or whatnot, but it's perfectly safe to eat.
Yep.
And there's different filter processes. So Steph has the fine. You can go through doing coarse, then medium, then fine. But I would double check what is required to be able to call it raw. And I could be wrong on this, but I'm not sure if I don't know if the fine filter has anything where you can't label it as raw or not, but there is like a certain degree where, depending on how you filter it, you won't be able to label it as raw, but that would just be for selling purposes. So I'm sure you would know all about that if you would get to that point anyway. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Should I taste that? I should taste that.
Absolutely.
Let's see here.
And eat your wax.
Okay. I'm trying to think what it.
I would be terrible at honey tastings. I don't know what anything tastes like. I'll just be like, oh, it's so good.
What are those sommeliers? Is that what it's called for wine? Like the sommeliers, is that what they're called? Those people who know everything about wine.
I don't even.
And they're like, oh, this tastes like a toasted almond with a peanut
Oh,
butter back. Yeah.
yeah, like they could do top note, like
Mm-hmm.
middle note, and yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I'm not good. I'm
this
not.
tastes like honey.
Well, thank goodness.
It's really good. It's really good.
Well,
No, it's
that's
a
all
good
you need to
honey.
know. It's really
Mhm.
good. So
Mhm.
when you label it just right, it's really good honey.
It's just really good honey. That's all I can say. It's multi-good honey.
And you can
Mhm.
even eat your wax.
I could. Let me see.
You don't have any bees in there or bee parts. You can just go ahead and just take a big chunk out.
Let's see. Here's a good. Okay. Here's some wax.
Mhm. I myself haven't used a fume board.
Mm.
I used our escape board. I don't mind waiting a day to go back. I have the time to do that, so I understand why fume boards are used, and you want to use those, like the honey robber and those kinds of things. But I used the escape board. I found it to be really great, and even though you do have to wait at least 24 hours to go back, and the bees do, they'll figure out how to get back up in there. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a fine line of like, you got to wait for enough time, but too much time, then they're going to get back. They're going to figure out how to get back up through there. But I thought
Yeah.
it was great. If you ever want to use a version where you don't want to, maybe you don't want to use chemicals from, the sprays, the escape board was great.
Let's do that on a live. Let's use the fume board when we are ready to pull some frames just to show everybody how it works. We should do that coming up soon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't think I have anything else then.
Hi,
after my
Brandon. Thanks for
tasting.
joining.
Hi, Brandon.
Yeah, how can you really can't do much more after tasting it? You did everything. Oh, except for bottling, but we can do a whole video on that. And if
Mhm.
anybody has any questions on bottling or certain labeling, I know it depends on states if you plan
Yep.
on selling, but so you'd have to
Absolutely.
check in with your own state. But
Yes, yes. Okay, well, that's all I have. I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday. Kim, I
you.
hope it's beautiful for you and your family and
And yours
wonderful.
is too. I hope
And
you're able to watch your bees and get your honey.
Stay cool, everybody. Stay hydrated.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody, especially on getting up to that holiday weekend. So we really appreciate you joining us today.
Absolutely. And we will see you guys next week. Same time, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, we
Same
have something
place.
special for next week.
Well, we do not same place. We're going someplace special. Yep.
We're going someplace. Yeah. So,
All right. Well, we'll see everyone later.
thank you, everybody. It was great seeing you. Bye.
Bye.